Hey guys, Chris here for Thoman's Guitars and Basses. In today's Guitar Tech Tips, I will show you how to change strings on electric guitars. In this series, I want to show you how to fix the most common issues and how to set up your guitars and basses without using too many special tools. This time we'll talk about changing strings on electric guitars with fixed bridges and vintage style tremolos. We have other videos on changing strings on all kinds of guitars and basses too, including Floyd Rose. You'll find them in the description box. In case you enjoy Guitar Tech Tips, make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell. First, you have to release the tension and get rid of the old strings. You can use a string winder to save some time. If you're not planning on keeping the old strings as backup, simply cut them. Just make sure to release the tension first. You can clean the fretboard while the strings are off. If you change the string gauge or the tuning, you will probably have to readjust the truss rod. If you don't want to do a fresh setup, just stick to the same gauge. If you want to learn more about all of that, check out our Guitar Tech Tips playlist. You'll find really useful videos there. Depending on the bridge of your guitar, you'll have to pass the strings through the body, through the tremolo, through a tailpiece, or wrap them around the bridge. How and where should you trim the strings at the headstock? In most cases, it's best to have 2 to 3 winds on the tuner. To achieve that on guitars with 6 tuners in a row, you have to pull the strings straight and cut it 2 machine heads further. So if it's the E string, you will cut it behind the D. If your guitar has 3 machine heads per side, you can aim for 1.5 tuner length. That's going to be a little under 5 centimeters or 2 inches. You'll have to stick the string through the tuning peg. The hole is going to be on the side on most tuners or in the center of vintage Fender style tuners. Make sure that the winds are going from the center of the headstock to the outside. It's also important that the winds don't overlap and go lower and lower. Of course, you will have to repeat the same thing on all of the strings. You don't have to worry about most of that if your guitar has locking tuners. Simply pull the string tight and lock the tuner. Just make sure you don't over tighten them. That gives you around half a wind on the tuning peg, which is perfectly enough. Now you can tune the strings, stretch them, and tune them again. Important to know about floating tremolos, as soon as you tune up one of the strings, the others go flat. That's because a floating bridge wants to keep the tension balance between the strings and the tremolo springs. It basically compensates for every change in tension. And now it's time for a test ride. This one's for you, Guillaume. Let me know if you have any questions left. Also, comment if you want to see an episode on changing strings on Strandberg and other headless guitars. Don't be afraid of setting up and fixing your guitars yourself. It's time to become your own guitar tech. Now you can tune the strings How and where should you trim the headstock on your Strandberg guitar? Tension change. Tension change. Hey buddy, you want some tension change? What is this? Is it even English?